Elsewhere, Pyongyang dismisses the possibility of another summit between the US and North Korean leaders, saying it has no intention to sit down for talks with Washington. A senior official from North Korea's foreign ministry criticized South Korea for what she called spreading rumors about the meeting and meddling in other countries' affairs. The statement comes after South Korean President Moon Jae-in said he would push for another meeting between American President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un prior to the November US presidential election. The two leaders have met 3 times since 2018 to discuss Pyongyang's nuclear program. Their last summit in Vietnam in February 2019 broke down without any agreements. Jason Unruhe is a political commentator and he joins us now out of Ontario. Jason, welcome. So it appears that North Korea doesn't want another photo opportunity with the US officials, US President Donald Trump at this time.
Basically, the DPRK has spent an exorbitant amount of time and effort into trying to give Donald Trump what he wants in order to get some sanctions relief. They allowed him to cross over the border into the north to be the first sitting president to do so. They had numerous meetings that looked like they went really, really well. Both of them spoke very glowingly of it. But as many people suspected, absolutely nothing came from it. I mean, the United States has not reciprocated this goodwill in any way, shape, or form through any kind of tangible concession towards the DPRK. If we do this, you do this, and the DPRK says if you take these measures, we'll take these measures, but the U.S. has not done a single thing. I think this is very much an expression of frustration by the DPRK in trying to deal with the situation. They were hopeful that maybe President Trump might do something different than his predecessors had, maybe create some kind of sanctions relief for them, but that has certainly not been forthcoming. So I think the DPRK leadership is very frustrated with the U.S. right now and is definitely expressing that. And I think Moon Jae-in is trying to be very optimistic about the whole situation. But I think the DPRK has really had enough of this. And then we saw the previous incident of the unification building being destroyed after the pornographic leaflets were thrown into the country by balloons. So I think this whole situation went straight down very quickly.
Jason, many opponents of the US president say that he has failed in his first term on the foreign policy front. Do you think before the elections that he would be very much wanting a meeting with North Korea for back home for the domestic purposes to show that he has done something?
I would think that for photo opportunity purposes and for reputation in general, something like that would be beneficial. But something would need to come out of it. There would have to be some kind of agreement signed or just any kind of actual advancement. So far, what we've seen from the United States under the leadership of Trump is essentially nothing. Nothing's gone forward and nothing's gone back. In terms of foreign relations with the DPRK, it's been essentially a lame duck presidency. I mean, sure, Trump's gotten all of his photo ops, et cetera. He's got his special attention, but there's nothing of substance here. And I think that's the real question. If Trump wants to beef that up by having another meeting, which it certainly would lift him up in the eyes of those who are already followers, but I think those really paying attention would see it for what it is, another empty, hollow gesture, unless something concrete were to come out of it.
Unruhe, political commentator, thank you very much indeed for your contribution there, joining us out of Ontario.